Welcome, Wargamers, to an episode of Rules You Got Wrong for my first battle report. Okay, let's start off. We got Mad Bird Valiant. It said, firstly, the drop pod shouldn't have fired the turn it deep struck in. True. One mistake we made. Okay. So, reasoning is, the drop pod comes in, it's at cruising speed, so it can't fire a storm bolter because it's not fast. Then Mad Bird Valiant says, secondly, even if it could shoot, it would not be able to shoot at the boys when Dave decided to open only one of the drop pod pedals. Technically that's right, but I mean, when we're playing the drop pod, we would open up all of them. The storm bolter can shoot in 360, so you can shoot the storm bolter at whatever the drop pod can see. Elfie, same thing. Drop pod couldn't have fired the turn it came in. Scalar, if a weird boy is in a squad of 11 or more boys, isn't he fearless? Therefore, no psychic test required. No. Maximum leadership is 10. Psychic always requires a leadership test, and so perils is always an option, or an 11 if you roll a 5 or a 6. So perils is legit. He took it. It was unfortunate, but that's the way the rules are. And then Herzog says, don't you get an invulnerable save? That's only if you have an invulnerable save. I didn't, so I just took the wound. Okay, a bunch of people got this wrong. First person I saw was Waldy SP. He said, Ordnance shots always hit the side armor. The shots are coming from above. Incorrect. Ordnance barrage are coming from above. But Ordnance is a blast marker, and it says in the rulebook that no matter where the blast marker hits, if it hits the vehicle in any way, it's always resolved upon the armor facing the shooter. So if you're shooting from this way, tank's over here, even if the template passes over and just grazes the back of it, it still counts the front armor, assuming it was facing you. That's Ordnance. Ordnance barrage, yes. If it hits, it's always side armor because it's coming up from above. But Ordnance is shooting right at it and it explodes as it hits. But it's always line of sight still. I don't know why so many people get that mixed up. Again, he shouldn't have gotten those cover saves from the boom gun. Don't you count cover from the hole in Ordnance? No, that's barrage, not Ordnance. And so again, he was shooting at him. Well, he was behind cover, and so measuring from where the looted wagon was shooting from. And that's why he got that cover save. Okay, Cheeseman12 says you can't fire all weapons after moving 6 inches. And Furioso is 12 armor on the front. Nope. The Predator is a fast vehicle, so fast vehicles can move at combat speed, which is 6 inches, and fire all of their weapons. There's that, and then Furiosos are armor 13. Normal dreadnoughts are 12, I do realize that, but looking at the Blood Angel Codex, they're 13 front armor. It's really terrible. Well, annoying for those of playing us against it, but you know, Games Workshop and their balances. Okay, and this is another thing that we did incorrectly, that we could improve. It didn't make a huge difference in the game, but we can improve. This is Jaded Knight, referring to Sarah Nett's comment, and a bunch of other people. It says, well, this is Sarah Nett. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dave ignored a couple of rules. But I still love you, Dave, so it's important. Defenders react. Independent characters, if the independent character has to react first, then the other characters to get in the base-to-base contact. So those priests or my war boss. And then once you're in the base space contact, it acts as a separate close combat unit. And we just treat it as a whole. And then we allocated wounds as it was a different like model, but not as a whole separate close combat unit. And so it could have made a small difference. We ended up wiping out the units every single time anyways. I guess the real impact that came was when with the war boss, with the Furioso. And then, let's see who commented specifically on that. Cowbasher was the first one to comment on that. And the Furioso, yes, would have done a lot more wounds to the boys. The war boss would have had at least 2 wounds left. An explosion wouldn't have been able to kill him. But guys, we're going for impact here. We wanted a fun game, and sometimes fun overrides the rules just a little bit. You know, we try to stay as accurate as possible. That's why we do this. But we did do that incorrectly. We'll endeavor to pay more attention next time. Who else do we have here? Yes. Just more talking about the priests. Daemon Master. Dan, you could not have attacked the Predator after the Dreadnought attacked you because you have to move 1 inch away from a vehicle after the assault, so your Power Fist could not have hit the Dreadnought. This is it's not overly common, so it's a lot misunderstood. Well, when you attack a vehicle, at the end of combat, you don't move out of combat with the vehicle. You stay in, and if the vehicle doesn't move, you get free hits on the vehicle. Now what happened is the Predator, I assaulted Predator, and then the Marines and the Furioso came from either side. And they attacked me, and then my guys split and attacked them. But there were still some guys in the middle that weren't able to move 6 inches to get into combat with them. And so they were left in combat with the Predator. Looking back, I rewatched the footage. I probably could have moved a few more guys out of there. But and maybe the Power Claw guy wasn't an independent character, he's just a special character. So he doesn't have to move first. So I chose to leave him there instead of moving him. So it did work out that way in the end, and it is okay for that to happen. But just make sure that you are moving 6 inches to try to get into combat with those 2 new units. And then if there are still guys left against the Predator, then they would get the free hits next turn in the assault phase. Because that's what would happen otherwise if they weren't assaulted. And so it's just one big assault. And vehicles, besides walkers, can't attack you. Okay. And then we got Git Smasher. He forgot his boys are Ard boys. 4+. Yep. It's true. I forget which assault it was, but I think it was only like 1 save that really mattered, because against the Furioso he has the power weapon, so he just ripped through the Hard Boy saves, and then you're just against the Blood Angels, the Assault Blood Angels. Yeah, did 1 wound to the 1 boys, and I rolled, and I think I rolled a 4 or 5, but I thought it was a 6, so I took him off. So 1 more wound, which could have been 1 more wound with Furioso. So could have been a game changer there. Sorry guys, I forgot my armor save. But I don't think that's against the rules, right? If you just willy-nilly take your own models off the board. I don't think anyone argues in a tournament if you do that. So we'll just let it slide this time. But that's about it. Yeah, biggest misconceptions are, again, those Ordnance weapons compared to Ordnance Barrage. Very different. Very. One's Barrage, one's Ordnance. Oftentimes they are together, but not always, so just make sure to reread the rules on that. We will read our independent character and close combat rules to more accurately represent that in further games. And, well, happy wargaming, guys.